Let's take a look under the microscope. This is a dirt sample brought to me by a neighbor. Well, he said it was from around his compost, but it wasn't actually his compost. So I don't know why he chose that, but as we can see, there's lots of minerals, there's some fungal hyphae, even some fungal spores. There's a few soil aggregates. And bacteria. Lots and lots of bacteria. There's a good start here. Most all soils have. However, healthy soil really requires the presence of microorganisms because they're the ones responsible for breaking down organic matter, minerals and such, and turning it into plant available nutrients. Through all of their movement, essentially what they're doing is building little cities in the soil where they can live and thrive. So just like above ground, below ground there is also a food web, known as the soil food web. So let's take a look at some compost under the microscope. As you can see, it's teeming with life. There is lots of bacteria, but there's lots more here. There's movement, there's diversity, there's organic matter. There are things that are moving through the soil and the sample. And of course, there's bacteria. Bacteria is just about everywhere. It's one of the foundations of life. But why does diversity matter? Well, there's this thing called primary succession. And along it, there is everything from bare rocks to moss and lichen to higher plant forms like weeds, grass, row crops, flowers, vegetables, berries, fruit trees, vines, shrubs, deciduous trees, and evergreen. So if we want our world to look more like this and less like this, then we need to pay attention to the biology in the soil, because it's these organisms that are breaking down the organic matter and making them plant available. Did you know that at least 70% of microorganisms live in the top inches of our soils? That is, if we protect them. Just like humans, they need shelter. Too much water and they'll drown. Too much sun exposure and they'll dry out. Basically not be where we need them to be in order to regenerate soil. And when we leave the land uncovered, when we strip it of all of the underbrush, then we leave roots exposed, dealing with compaction, and we're not allowing the proper biology to be there. As you can see, these roots are covered with moss. That indicates a higher bacterial level in this soil than what a deciduous tree in this case would need. After watching this tree for 2 years, noticing how it was dying, it was finally cut down a year later. So what can we do to turn things around? Well, I think the first thing we can do is to understand nutrient cycling. So let's do that. Nutrient cycling is how the organisms go about unlocking nutrients that are contained in rocks, silt, sand, clay, and organic matter. By unlocking these nutrients, they help to support the vitality of both plants and human beings. So let's take a look at nutrient cycling in action. It all begins with bacteria. Bacteria uses alkaline enzymes to consume organic materials, including rocks, silt, sand, and clay. It's just like when we're cleaning our glasses. When we use our mouth enzymes, we blow on that glass to clean off any organic matter that's on there. The same principle applies. Meanwhile, the fungus is using acidic enzymes to consume organic matter. And essentially the bacteria and the fungi, they consume the nutrients that they need and then they poop out the rest. This creates a nutrient glue that forms the basis of soil aggregates and makes the nutrients available to plants. Think of it like this. These glues form building blocks for healthy soils. These building blocks are then connected by the fungi, who create soil aggregates and create soil structure. And then higher level organisms come in to consume on the lower level. So what do? Well, protozoa move in to eat bacteria, and it diminishes that bacterial population. There's different kinds of protozoa, including flagellates, ciliates, amoebae. There are both aerobic and anaerobic protozoa. That simply means that some of them survive better in well-oxygenated soils, and others are either able to survive in lower oxygen environments, or they're able to switch back and forth. This is important when we talk about the health and the disease triangle, because you'll remember that there are either mutualistic organisms or there are pathogenic organisms, and the condition of our bodies and our plants is determined by which of those is most prevalent, able to outcompete the other. Ciliates thrive in low oxygen environments. They go around eating the bacteria that they most like to consume, and they spit out the rest. Kind of like most life forms, right? So as they're consuming the bacteria, they're also moving things around, which also helps to create soil aggregates. Protozoa reproduce by splitting in what's called binary fission. This here is some rotifers. As you can see, they're cycling through the solution to find the bacteria that they prefer, and they're just spitting out the rest. So together with all this movement, you can think of some of these microorganisms as the movers. They're moving things, they're designing what the soil cities are going to look like. And that also includes nematodes. Nematodes can get a bad rap, but there are different classifications. Some of them prefer to eat bacteria, some eat fungus, some eat other nematodes, and the ones you really want to look out for are the root feeders and the switchers, because if there's not enough fungus and bacteria in the soil, the switcher will switch and eat the roots of your plant. The different types of nematodes can be identified by their mouth and also their different parts of their inner body. And then there's microarthropods, who like to feed on bacteria and other smaller organisms. There's different types. They're not all pictured here, just a few examples. I call this one legs. This is what nutrient cycling looks like under the microscope. And it's thanks to Dr. Elaine Ingham, who pioneered understanding the soil food web and the critical role that the microorganisms play in plant health and human health. These organisms are all around us, and we need a diversity of them to keep nutrient cycling going and help with plant health, help with soil compaction, and see that all of these issues are interrelated with one another. It's important that we protect these soil cities and understand that they're working hard to make nutrients available. Again, we need to look at our farming practices. Tillage is just like Godzilla running through the soil cities.